Hi there YouTube friends, welcome back to Mom's Greek Kitchen, the channel where I teach you my mom's Greek recipes. Today we're making that Greek classic Avgolemono. Avgolemono is the classic Greek soup based on a meat broth and finished with a egg and lemon sauce, which is where it gets its name from. Avgo means egg in Greek and lemoni is lemon, so Avgolemono, compound word meaning egg and lemon. It usually has a starch, could be rice, could be orzo pasta, could be a classic Greek noodle called hilopites, which are a flat little square soup pasta. So it's a great soup, it's my favorite. So let's get cooking. Alright, we are ready to start making our avgolemono. Avgolemono is a meat-based soup, or a meat stock based soup. Traditionally, you can really do any meat in it. Mom has made it with beef, she's made it with lamb or goat, she's made it with chicken, she's made it with turkey. I'm pretty sure you could probably use anything. At Easter time, it's actually made with the intestines and the tripe from the inside of the lamb before roasting the lamb. Not my favorite. Today we'll be making it with chicken. My favorite is turkey, but my partner prefers chicken, so we're going to do chicken. And basically you're just going to boil the meat that you want with a little bit of salt and pepper until it's done, and we will continue from there. So here I've got my chicken. I have rinsed it off, made sure that all the bits and pieces inside are out of it. I'm just going to stick it into my Dutch oven, and I'm going to add enough water to cover the bird. In our household, and I think in all traditional Greek households, the skin is actually left on the bird. We never took it off. It's actually included in the soup. Same if we're having turkey. It tastes really good, but for some people it's an acquired texture. So it's up to you what you do with it, but I recommend you try it at least once. So I've turned it on, I've got my bird on. I'm not going to salt it until after I do my skimming of the foam. Now that our soup broth has come to a boil, you can see the foam, the scum on top. We're just going to skim it off. This is just loose proteins that have coagulated with the heat of the water, and we just want to remove it because we want a relatively clear soup. This makes it look nicer. There's nothing wrong with it. And now we're going to add some salt and some pepper. We don't add it ahead of time because the pepper will float and you'll just be skimming it off. But we'll just add some now. And a little bit of salt. We'll rectify that later. Now for avgolemono, this is all there is for the flavorings. Salt, pepper, and whatever meat broth or whatever meat you're using. If you're adding vegetables or whatever, like you would in a normal soup, carrots, onions, celery, etc., then it's no longer a Greek avgolemono, or not a traditional Greek avgolemono. The flavor does change dramatically, and it doesn't taste right if you're used to avgolemono. If you are going to add the vegetables, you might as well make chicken noodle soup or chicken rice soup or whatever. So all I'm going to do now is allow this to cook down until the chicken is tender and fall off the bone, and we'll be back then. Alright, we're back. Our chicken is now nicely cooked and tender. So we're going to carefully remove it from the soup stock. And we're going to put it in a bowl and allow it to cool until it's cool enough to handle, and then we will take the meat off of the bone. We'll come back and do that later. At this point I would taste the broth. And if it needs to cook down a little bit to get a little stronger or to rectify the seasoning, Now is the time I will do that. It does need a little bit of salt, and I am going to let it cook down a little bit before I add my pasta or rice. We don't want them to overcook, of course. So I'll be back when it's time to add the starch. Alright, welcome back. So I've removed the meat off of the carcass of the chicken, and I've added the bones back into the soup broth here. And I've let it cook down some. I've checked my seasoning, and that's all good. So now I'm just going to remove the bones. Now, to our broth, I'm going to add our starch. I'm using rice, that's my favorite. And I like to use, and Mom liked to use, a short grain rice. In the old days, they used to call it pearl rice. And her favorite brand was a brand called Monarch, which you can no longer get. I'm just using Italian arborio style rice. You can use any other short grain rice. You can use regular rice. It just won't get that nice creamy texture. You could also, like I said, use orzo or hilopitas or any small pasta if you like. So for this amount, which is half of my Dutch oven, I'm going to add a cup of rice. I'm going to stir it in and just let it cook down until it's tender. And then turn off your soup and allow it to cool slightly so it's not at a boil. You want it hot but not searing hot for the next step. And I'll be back when we're at that point. Alright, we're back. Our rice is cooked. It's nicely thickened up the soup. It will thicken as it sits, of course. I've turned off the soup about 10-15 minutes ago, so it's not boiling hot, but it is still quite hot. Our next step is to make the avgolemono part. So we're going to use egg and lemon, which is basically what it is. In the old days, Mom, being a poor housewife, didn't have a lemon reamer or anything of that sort, so the traditional tool is the fork. And you just stick your fork in, you squeeze your lemon, and you run your fork up and down. So we're going to get some lemon out. Now, my partner doesn't like lemon that much, and I like it quite sharp. So you make it to the taste of your family, and then those who like it sharper can add more lemon at the table. So we have that sitting aside. I've separated 2 eggs. I have the yolks, like Mom always did. She would have them sitting in the shell. Normally I would just put them in the bowl, but I'm doing this as close to original as I can. So there's 2 egg yolks sitting in here. I've got my egg whites in here. And as I said, Mom wasn't rich, or the family wasn't rich. So this is her beaters. 2 forks held side by side, and you just start beating. Good enough. Alright, so we've got our egg whites to almost, well actually they're pretty much stiff peaks, so just before it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to beat in our egg yolks. Oops. Just a little bit of the lemon juice. So I'm going to add maybe a quarter of a lemon. And now we're going to temper this by adding hot broth from the soup, beating the entire time. interesting with this kind of a get up. Let's put something underneath first so our bowl doesn't go flying around. All right. Adding the hot liquid slowly and beating the whole time so you don't curdle your eggs or break, as they say in Greek. I'm going to add one more. My ladle is about a cup size, so just so you have an idea of how much to add. Alright, oops. Now, while the soup is still hot, we're going to stir in our Avgolemono mixture, stirring the same direction the whole time, and slowly pouring it in. I don't know how much truth there is, but supposedly if you change direction, it will break. I'm pretty sure it's a superstition, but that's how we do it. And that is the base of the soup. This is the chicken that I've shredded. The skin is in here, like that. Small pieces, so they're bite size. We're going to stir that into our soup. And we're ready to serve. Alright, let's serve up a portion. Stir it well before each spoonful so you get a good mixture of the broth, the foam on top, the chicken, and your starch, whatever it happens to be. And this was always traditionally served with lots and lots of homemade bread. I haven't had a chance to make any, so we're getting store-bought, but still, you want a good hearty bread. It was always a white bread at home. This is the way I would eat it. Dad would, I would add lemon juice, of course. Dad would always almost cover the top with pepper. I don't like pepper that much, but I hope you try this soup. It's really a good warming soup. It's filling. It's an excellent dinner. And I hope you enjoy it when you try it. Please come back and see another video, and we'll see you there. Please like and subscribe if you like these videos, and I will continue making them for you. Thank you, and take care. Bye-bye.